how Hammond's House will be approaching the exhibition schedule.
Yeah.
You know, going from a national to more of a somewhat national to regional, and what impact would that have on local and regional artists?
Well, we've all, the Hammond's House, I mean, due to the economic situation we're in, we have to be real about that. Putting together art exhibitions costs money. And if the funding gets cut short, then your scope gets cut short. So at a time when sometimes we could ship artists from across the seas or across country, we may have to look at artists regionally and locally. That really doesn't change our mission all that much, because we have a vast amount of regional and local artists who have national acclaim, one. We have many people who have moved from other regions and who are living here in Atlanta, be they artists in the African diaspora, from the continent of Africa, from the Netherlands, from South America, Central America. So we have an international community right here in Atlanta. I think it's just making me as a curator focus more on that, because it's easy to kind of look at the national names that are out there that might be economically beyond our reach to curate or bring to the museum. But I think it just gives me the opportunity to fine tune and focus on the artists who are here in our own backyard, who have just as much impact and deserve just as much attention.
Mm-hmm. How does the museum go about nurturing their support system? I mean, what can we do to get the word out on support that you guys may need here at Hammond's House?
We always say, first of all, become a member of the institution. It's still a known fact that most institutions are supported more so by individual supporters than corporate supporters. Corporations can give a lot of big money, but one corporation give $100,000 doesn't add up to maybe 200,000 individuals giving $25 a piece. The numbers are there. I think what it comes down to is finding the value that art and culture have in your life, and committing to supporting an institution. It doesn't have to be the Hammond's House. We would love it to be. But if you're into dance, find a dance company to support. If you're into opera, find an opera company to support. If you're into the visual arts and you're into the history of African Americans' contribution to visual arts, come and support the Hammond's House. Because what we're trying to do on a shoestring budget is present the history of our people's production to the world. And I think it's very important to support that.
The artists within the community have a responsibility to support the institutions that support the visual arts? And
I would say yes, and that's where it gets complicated, because honestly, most artists believe if they support an institution, that institution should give them a show. Let's be straight up about that. That's not always the case. What an artist, individual artist, should do is support an institution because that institution will one day possibly give them a show, but not necessarily so. But the opportunity is there to give other artists in their circle an exhibition. I mean, the benefit doesn't always have to be personal in order for you to support an institution. And that's one of the things we can't get over. We have many people who died fighting in the civil rights movement who never got a chance to vote, who never got a chance to see freedom. But they laid the foundation for those coming after them, and they built upon those. And the reason we're free today is because somebody laid down their life and their blood for the future. That's what supporting an institution comes down to as well. It isn't always about supporting an institution for your own narcissistic gains. It's about supporting the history for the gains and contributions of the future. Because at the end of the day, if the Hammond's House disappears, that's one less institution that's going to be showing African diasporic and African American art in Atlanta. And Atlanta doesn't even have a handful of African American art galleries right now doing that. We have a lot of galleries that have integrated and done so. But when you really think about Metro Atlanta as a quote, black Mecca, and the number of art galleries and institutions that we have, the numbers don't add up. Where are black people going with their money? What are they doing? Are they wasting it on entertainment? Are they trying to support cultural, historical institutions? Atlanta needs to find out where it stands on that matter.